much. Oh my gosh. So I am one of 36 first cousins. Big Catholic family. Big Catholic family. And everyone in all of the cousins, all of us have nicknames. We had Dan the Man, Gene the Machine, Fartin' Martin. My name was Jenny Who Ain't Got a Penny. And while I thought it was really fun, and every time my uncle said, "Oh, there's Jenny Who Ain't Got a Penny," I would just simply pull a penny out of my shoe and say, "No, I have a penny, ha ha ha." But it wasn't until later that I realized what it had as an impact in my life. And so one day my uncle and I were driving in his van, and I can still remember the smell of the carpet cleaning, right? The carpet cleaning products, because they had a carpet cleaning business. And we were just casually driving down the road. And he said, "You know, Jenny, you're going to grow up to be just like your father, John, an alcoholic. And you're going to grow up to be like your mother, Ginger, a verbal abuser. You're going to be poor. You're going to smoke cigarettes. And really, you won't amount to anything, because that's how the world happens. A farmer's son becomes a farmer." And I thought, oh, well, that's not very nice for you to say. And remembering back on this moment, it was the moment that I said, wait a minute, hold on, what do you mean I'm going to be like them? I don't have to be like them. So I set out on a path to prove to them that I can be so much better. And I exceeded in everything. I was accepted to Colorado State University for pre-med. I was going to be a cardiologist. I played flute and piccolo in the Colorado Springs Symphony in 10th, 11th, and 12th grade. I was a tennis champion. I was a cheerleader. I had a 4.2 GPA, and I was runner-up Miss Colorado. But I did it all for everybody else, never for me. Just waiting for the day that someone would say, "Hey, Jenny, I'm proud of you." But it didn't come. And it really didn't come until I met my future husband. We're high school sweethearts. We met in 10th grade. And he said, "Jen," because he doesn't call me Jenny, nor can anyone else. No Jenny here. And he said to me, "Jen, when are you going to start living for you instead of everybody else?" And he gave me the permission to do that. The permission to start thinking about me instead of everyone else. But that didn't stop me. I took this all the way through my business, and I excelled incredibly well in my business. Until one day, when I was proving to everybody that I could be great in business too, I was standing outside of a restaurant. And there I was again, walking what I call the concrete balance beam. Anybody know this balance beam? Walking and talking and walking and talking. And in fact, my family was inside because we were supposedly at dinner together. My family was inside, and heck, I was even opening the door for people as they were coming in. I was, talking to my client, opening the door. Come on, it's great. Because I looked so good, right? I'm needed, I'm wanted, I'm working. All of that to prove to people. Except while I was walking this balance beam, I happened to glance over and into the window of the restaurant. There they were, my family, laughing and playing with each other, spit little things through straws, enjoying themselves and creating all these beautiful memories. But I was never in them. I was watching my life go by through windows all the time, laden with excuses of why I was late, and my client needed me constantly. But in that moment, I decided, I'm done proving. It's time for me to live. And I set out on a path about 4 years worth of work, figuring out how there's got to be a better way to do this. How can I crack the code on being successful and having a life? But I don't believe in balance at all, because I feel that you're 50% here and 50% here when you're balanced. So I knew that I had to be all in so that I could be all in, but I had to crack the code. And I went on this mission, and at the time I was in the mortgage business and I was closing $50 million worth of volume a year, so on mortgages, right? $50 million. And I was in the top 1% of all loan officers in the country. Now, out of 785,000 loan officers, I was in the top 78,000. That's not bad, but it wasn't good enough. Not for me, because I had this life of proving. But I said, there's got to be a way for me to do 50 million and work 4 hours or 4 days a week and be with my family. So as I was setting out on this path and going to my mentors and talking to them, and I had heard something that Les Brown said to me, and he has this wonderful quote that he says, if you do what's easy, your life will be hard. If you do what's hard for a while, your life will be easy. So I thought, well, I could do this. I'm already working hard. I'll just work harder to figure this out. So a couple years later, I was sitting in my office and I received a package, and it was flat and it was cardboard and it looked like a frame. And I thought, oh, my client sent me a gift. But when I opened it up, and I meticulously will open it up, and as I opened it, I saw the acrylic plaque that said on the top 200 loan originators in the United States out of 1,200,000 loan officers. And I still get chills when I think about it. And it was so emotional for me, because as I looked down that list and I saw, and I thought, oh, well, and you know me by now, right? I wanted to be number one, but I wasn't. I was number 178. But in that moment, I looked down, in fact, I even looked down and I looked over and it told me the volume. I had done $102 million. And I was working 4 days a week. And I thought, I'm not Jenny who ain't got a penny anymore. I am definitely Jenny who's making it happen, and I'm doing it for myself. And it was the best feeling I'd ever had, but I still hadn't heard, I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you, Jenny. In fact, my mom passed away, and all of her girlfriends came up to me and said, you know, she was proud of you, but she could never tell me. And so even though I was strong enough to get through it, I knew I was stronger now. I still wanted that. I still craved the external acceptance. And so I started working on myself and said, wait a minute, I'm not going to live somebody else's dream. And now from the grave, she's you're coming after me, right? But I had become this workaholic, and I had become a verbal abuser, because it's just a different disease, right? It's just a different element that I'm using with it. The verbal abusing was my kids asking me, Mom, won't you play with me? Mom, can't you do this? And I'd say, don't you know that I am doing this for you, right? And so I became that verbal abuser. So I started working on myself and said, okay, I'm gonna become a full person now. And so I paid a lot of money to go spend 1 day with somebody to teach me something. And I walked in, I remember walking in fact, I was wearing this dress. I walked in and I said, well, I'm here, 15 grand, that's how much it was, 1 day. And he said, well, what we're gonna do today is we're going to work a little bit and then you can go to lunch. What? Why couldn't you buy me lunch? Why do I have, what? And I was so angry. I still remember the feelings. I was so angry, and I said, fine, whatever. Fine, I'll go back to the hotel room. So it's the middle of the day, I'm in my hotel room, and I thought, well, I'll work on everything. And I'm sitting there working, and I hear all this ruckus out in the hallway. And I'm hearing, oh, that's kids. And then I hear some more ruckus, and I thought, that sounds like someone's coughing. And I hear some more ruckus, and I'm waffling in there, and I'm trying to make a decision. I'm going, do I go? Do I not go? Is there something going on out there? So I decide to walk out there, and my room is always near the elevator, but not next to it, right? So I walk out there, and I peek around the corner, and I'm like, oh my gosh, there was a woman choking. And she was sitting on the chair right in front of the elevator, and there was another woman standing there, and she's like, blah, blah, blah. I mean, and I'm going, where's the panic here, right? And I looked, and I ran back in the room. My first thought was, I'm going to call 911, that's it. Pick up the phone, and I'm like, what if I get in trouble? Because it's really not that bad. They're going to get mad at me. I know, I'll call the front desk. Then I try to wait a minute, what if there's no time? So I ran out, kicked my shoes off, right? I ran out, I ran around the corner, and this was the woman still standing there, blah, 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 and the woman's choking to death. She's over there choking, and I ran over to her, and I said, I looked her in the eyes, I go, can I do the Heimlich on you? And she goes, right? So I ran around her and hiked up my dress. And the whole time I'm thinking, have I seen enough of this on TV? Did I do this in Girl Scouts? Am I gonna break a nail? I didn't know what was gonna happen. So I ran behind her and I hiked up my dress and I'm like, oh, nothing happens. So I'm thinking, well, I'll do it again, but oh, I hope I don't break anything, right? And so around she goes and I go, really hard, Out comes a white lifesaver. She had choked on a white lifesaver. And right, the irony of it all, right? And anyway, so she choked on this, and I immediately went, are you okay? Are you okay? And she's, thank you for saving my life. I know, I don't think I did. And she said, no, you saved my life. And then over here, she's still over there, wah, wah, talking on the phone. And I said, okay, but you're okay. Yeah, I'm okay. So I ran back in. And just as I walked in, and you hear that door slamming behind you, right, in a hotel, I fell to my knees. I've never fallen to my knees for anything. I fell to my knees. And I said, I think I just saved somebody. I think I did. I better call Brian. Honey, I think I just saved somebody. I don't know. I think I did. I can't tell. I did the thing. And he said, oh my God, honey, that's awesome. And I was shaking. And I said, is this what it feels like? Is this what these people feel like to save lives? This is so cool. So I got myself all composed and went back to the meeting. And I said, guess what I did at lunch? But before I left the hotel, I was starting to leave, and it turns out she was housekeeper. And I see her in there working. I said, what the heck are you doing? What are you doing in there working? She said, oh, I gotta work. I said, you're okay though, yeah? Yeah, I'm okay. We both start walking out. She walks down the hall. I start getting on the elevator, and I'm going, no, stop. Pulled the elevator. Now I sneak around the other corner, and I said, hey, what's your name? She said, I'm Penny. And I said, I'm Jenny. And so what I've learned from this lesson is about taking action. We waffle so often. Should I do? Should I not? What if it fails? What if? But if we don't take this action, imagine the lives you could change, not only my life, but her life forever. And I truly didn't think that I had saved her life until I came back and there were flowers in my room. And there's a card, and I have the card if you guys want to see. I don't have it physically, I have it on my camera. And it simply says, Jenny, thank you for saving my life, Penny. And in that moment, what I learned was we have to take action. This waffling, this decision making of, I'm not sure if I should take this chance. I don't know if I'll fail. I don't know if I'll succeed. You never know whose life you're going to impact, including your own. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank all of you. Thank all of you.